Power English.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kristen Joe.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Yes, it is March 1st. It is a national holiday.
Yes.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
3.1절.
Yes.
And what is that in English?
Well, there are a few names I have heard. The March 1st movement.
Okay.
Yeah, the Independence Movement Day. All of these things reference this 3.1절.
Okay. All right, very good. So everyone, it is a special day, and it happens to be the first day of March.
Yes.
Which is really kind of the official month to start off the new season at Power English.
Yes, that's right.
People don't know, but it is.
Right, yeah. March is usually when the 개편 happens,
Yes,
right?
That's right.
At the end of February.
And for those of you who purchase books or don't purchase books, we have a little bit of a new design, a change in the design.
Yeah, I was looking through it. It's basically all the same information, but the locations may be slightly different.
And the font is a little different. There are little added changes. So I just would like to let everybody know that if you just listen to Power English and do not study with a book, we highly recommend that you get a subscription, an annual subscription, which is 20% off.
Yes.
Okay, it makes a big difference. Okay, on Saturday, we take a break from dialogues and we look at a news article.
Yes, we do.
The title of today's news article is Tuition-Free University Education in America. When you see tuition-free or tax-free, it means that there are no taxes. There is no tuition. Do you think this is possible?
Well, I don't know if politically it is possible.
Yeah.
Of course, this is a very big issue in the United States. Much like Korea, you know, a university education in the United States is very expensive.
Very.
So many people would like for it to be free. But will it be possible
Yeah.
I'm not an expert to answer that question.
That's another question. Okay, tuition is 학비, right? I mean, it's basically the money that you pay the university to go to school. So imagine you go to school and you don't have to pay money to the school. 등록금.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, let's look at some expressions here. Reach a fever pitch.
This means to reach a high level, especially when we're talking about an activity.
Okay.
So it could be a lot of energy and excitement, or it could be a negative type of energy like anxiety or fear.
Okay, let's see how it's used in just a bit. Take steps to do something.
You are trying to do things, often to fix a problem or to create something.
Okay. And here's an interesting expression. No-man's land. No man's land.
No man's land means there's no one there.
There are no people there.
There are no people there. Or it's unknown what is there.
Oh, okay. Very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our article.
The burden of student debt on the average American student has reached a fever pitch, prompting many schools to do something about it. Across the nation, many state schools and private universities are taking steps to attract good students with parents who earn less than $100,000 per year. The problem with traditional financial aid offered in America is that most students from middle-class families are too poor to pay for school without financial aid, but are too rich to qualify for financial aid. This puts them in a financial no-man's land that means the student has to get a bank loan for school, resulting in huge debt levels upon graduation.
Here we go. Please join us on page 8. You can find the Power article there. Tuition-free university education in America. Let's begin. The burden of student debt on the average American student has reached a fever pitch, prompting many schools to do something about it. Okay, debt, D-E-B-T, 빚이죠, right? A lot of students have debt. Okay?
Yes.
And the average American student has reached a fever pitch. This debt has reached a fever pitch. So how high is this debt?
It is extremely high.
Yeah.
It is maybe almost at its maximum. The feeling with fever pitch, I often think of like a train engine. You know, whenever engines move, there's a certain level they can reach and they're fine. But then you can push it. And the engine will run, but it starts making a weird sound.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, if this gets any stronger,
It's going to explode.
it's going to explode.
Yeah.
That is the feeling with reaching a fever pitch. It's still working. It's still going. But if you add any more stress, it's going to get very, very dangerous.
Okay, that's interesting. So not only is it like at an all-time high, like it's extremely high, but it's so high that it could pop.
Yes.
Like it could explode. Okay, so that's why the schools are doing something about it. Let's continue.
Across the nation, many state schools and private universities are taking steps to attract good students with parents who earn less than $100,000 per year.
Okay, so one thing that they're doing is they're taking steps to attract good students. Okay, they're taking steps to do something.
Yes. They are doing actions toward a goal. If you have a plan, in English, often you write step 1,
Yeah.
step 2, step 3. Those are the steps you're taking here. So their goal is to get good students, even if their parents don't make a lot of money. $100,000 per year is not a little, like it is a significant amount of money, but it's not very, very rich.
No.
Right? So people that are making that amount of money or less probably cannot easily send their children to universities.
Right. And I've heard that recently in America, $100,000 really is not enough to sustain yourself.
Right. If you live in California,
Right.
New York, Chicago, $100,000 is maybe average, but you are probably struggling.
Yeah.
If you're in Arkansas, where I'm from,
It's okay.
it's on the higher end
That's
of
right.
income.
True.
Yeah.
So depending on where you are.
Yes.
So they're taking steps. They're doing the things that they need to do to get good students whose parents don't make a lot of money. The problem with traditional financial aid offered in America is that most students from middle-class families are too poor to pay for school without financial aid, but are too rich to qualify for financial aid. This is really interesting. The problem with is our power pattern. So let's begin with that. The problem with, and then you're going to talk about the problem.
Yes.
Right?
So this is a common way to introduce a problem whenever not everything is wrong, but there is a problem with one thing. So financial aid, if we go ahead and look at our power vocab, financial aid they're the loans or the scholarships, the grants, the type of money that you get to help you pay for college.
Right.
All right, that's financial aid. It's supposed to be a good thing. Just looking at it from the outside, you just think, oh, this is a good thing. But when you use a phrase like the problem with, you're saying, okay, maybe it looks good, but I want to point out something that is wrong with it. Something that's making it difficult or hard for other people.
Right. So you could maybe, some of our listeners may say, oh, the problem with Power English is that it's really good, but it's all in English.
Or the problem with Power English is it's too short. It's only 20 minutes long.
Oh my gosh, that's even a better example. Okay, so it says here that these middle-class families are too poor to pay for the school, but then they don't qualify. They make too much money to get financial aid. So they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, this is very common. If you are if your family is extremely poor, sometimes it's easier to get money to go to school.
Better, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this puts them in a financial no man's land. That means the student has to get a bank loan for school, resulting in huge debt levels upon graduation. So, in this case, financial no man's land.
Yes.
Where are we?
You're in the middle of Siberia. Or the Gobi Desert, the Sahara, where there is nobody around.
But it's financial.
Right. So we use this as a metaphor to mean there is no financial help.
Nowhere to go.
Right. You're stuck in a weird place. If you were richer or poorer,
it'd be better.
It might be better, but you're in this, there's just no one here. I got no help. I don't know what to do.
Right. And that is really tricky with these sort of, whether you're eligible to get money from the government or help, financial aid, if you go above a certain income bracket, you don't qualify.
Right.
Right? So that's why you're kind of in a financial no man's land.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to that article one more time.
The burden of student debt on the average American student has reached a fever pitch, prompting many schools to do something about it. Across the nation, many state schools and private universities are taking steps to attract good students with parents who earn less than $100,000 per year. The problem with traditional financial aid offered in America is that most students from middle-class families are too poor to pay for school without financial aid, but are too rich to qualify for financial aid. This puts them in a financial no man's land. That means the student has to get a bank loan for school, resulting in huge debt levels upon graduation.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 10 and 11. When something reaches a fever pitch, it means not only just it's increased so much, but also maybe you're so excited or you're just like, worried or concerned. Whatever emotion it is that you're feeling, it's like really high.
Yes.
Okay. I heard the fans at the game were really loud.
The crowd's excitement reached a fever pitch when we scored the winning goal.
Yeah. When you're at one of those games, especially like soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Soccer, among sports, it does feel like soccer is the one where people get the most excited.
Yeah, totally. Even like me. Someone who doesn't like soccer.
Yeah.
But if it's a good game, it gets very exciting.
It's true. And so this is a positive thing, of course. The crowd's excitement reached a fever pitch. But there is almost that feeling. We talked about the explosion earlier, right?
Right.
You know how sometimes in sporting events, everyone's so excited they run onto the field and then they actually start kind of destroying part of the field, like they tear things down.
Yeah.
And it's in excitement. It's supposed to be a happy emotion, but it's like, oh, we're almost going over the limits we should be going.
Going overboard.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
How about this one? Her anxiety reached a fever pitch as she waited for the final interview call.
Oof.
Right. So your anxiety.
Yeah.
Your it's like you were anxious, but now it's like so high.
Yeah. You know how sometimes you start to get sick because you have so much anxiety?
And you get dizzy.
Maybe you start to get some nausea.
Right.
That is the feeling that this anxiety is so intense that it's building up inside of you and about to explode.
So as you can see from these examples, these are just not ordinary, like, oh, I'm so anxious or I'm so excited. It goes way beyond that. Okay, take steps to do something means that you are making an effort to achieve a goal. I decided to take steps to improve my fitness by joining a yoga class.
It's a smart decision, especially after age 50.
So you want to get healthy, you want to get fit. It doesn't happen overnight.
Nope. You have to have a plan. And there are several things you have to do, right? You going to a yoga class is great, but I'm sure that's not the only thing they will be doing.
That's right. So you have to take steps to get to that goal.
Yes.
Okay. The company is taking steps to reduce its carbon footprint through renewable energy. Okay. So the company is trying to, do things that are eco-friendly.
Yes.
And they are taking steps to do it, meaning they're not going to do it, all of it, all at once, but one at a time.
Yes. And I mean, that type of thing, if you have a big goal, you can't achieve it all in one step. It's going to take several steps that you have to take.
Right. And for those of you who are learning English, you know that learning a new language isn't going to happen overnight.
You'll have to take many steps to get fluent in English.
That's right. And one of them is consistency.
Yes.
Listening to Power English every day.
Every day.
No man's land. This is a place where it's like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like either there's no help around you, there are no people around you, or you really don't have any information. It's just like a very gray, foggy area.
Yeah, right. How are the peace negotiations going?
The long discussions put them in a no man's land where neither side will budge.
Okay, so they are discussing something, and basically it's peace talks, negotiations, and they are in a no man's land. So where are they? What does this mean? What situation are they in?
They've reached a part of the negotiations where they don't know how the negotiations will turn out. They aren't going well. They aren't going bad necessarily.
Right.
They're stuck. And it's, okay, is it going to go better or worse? We don't know.
Yeah.
They're stuck in this weird, awkward place where they can't know what will happen.
All right. The stretch of desert between the two towns felt like no man's land. That's true. All right. When you do drive, America's a big place and it just feels like no man's land.
Yeah, you go to Nevada
there's nothing.
Yeah.
The problem with is basically this is one problem. The problem with super glue is that it is really messy.
Super glue is good, but it does have a problem.
Yeah.
The problem with cooking for myself is that I always have a lot of leftovers.
I mean, cooking is good, but you've got leftovers. All right. Power vocab is financial aid, so do check out the definition on page 12 and stop by Audio Ohagdang. You can find so many wonderful programs there. Okay, have a great weekend and we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.